There's nothing quite like the peace that follows a long trip, the quiet hum of your own neighborhood, the comfort of knowing you're home again. After the blissful weeks in Thailand, I was ready to collapse into my bed and sleep off the jet lag. But when my Uber turned the corner onto my street, something didn't feel right. There was a police cruiser parked in my driveway, and standing on my front porch, a family that didn't belong there, a man, a woman, two kids, laughing like they owned the place, because apparently they did, and in their hands, my house keys. That's when I realized someone had sold my home while I was thousands of miles away. But what they didn't know was who they were messing with, and how far I was willing to go to get my life back. The stranger in my house, stepped off the plane still humming from the adventure of temples, street food, and serene beaches. Thailand had been the perfect escape from my high-stress consulting job and, more importantly, the petty chaos of Pinterest Estates, my neighborhood. Rolled with an iron clipboard by the HOA president, Karen Wilkinson. My only plan was to sink into my bed, blackout curtains drawn, and let sleep take over. That plan changed when my Uber turned into my driveway, and I saw a police cruiser parked squarely where my car should have been, dragging my suitcase. I approached warily. A strange family was standing on my porch talking to two officers, a man, a woman, two kids clinging to her legs, all of them, acting like they belonged. The woman had my keys in her hand. "Excuse me," I said, trying to sound calm. "What's going on? This is my house." One of the officers turned toward me, expression already hardened. "Sir, these homeowners called us because they said someone was threatening to break in. Do you have identification?" I fumbled for my passport, completely confused. "I've lived here for 6 years. I just got back from vacation. There must be some mistake." The man, apparently the new owner, shook his head. "We bought this house 2 weeks ago. We moved in yesterday. We have all the paperwork and the deed." I looked past them, into what should have been my house. But it wasn't that. My furniture was gone. My photos, my art, my life, gone. Instead, strange furniture, unopened boxes, and unfamiliar decorations littered every corner. It was as if my existence had been erased. The lie that stole my life phone of the officers, a woman whose hand hovered near her holstered weapon. "Step forward, sir. I'm going to need you to step back. These people have documentation showing they own this property." My mind reeled. This is insane. I have everything: mortgage statements, tax records. It's all on my phone. I showed them my emails, proof of mortgage payments, travel records, confirming I was only gone 2 weeks. But it didn't matter. The new owners were frightened. Their kids hid behind their mother as if I was the threat. And just like that, I was a criminal on my own front lawn. Nothing about this made sense. I'd set everything up perfectly before my trip. Mortgage on autopay, lawn service hired, mail on hold at the post office. The only odd thing had been a last-minute notice from the HOA about the inappropriate shade of my mailbox, charcoal gray instead of slate gray. Karen's nonsense. She had been a constant irritation, petty, controlling, obsessed with her clipboard and made-up infractions. But I never imagined she could orchestrate something like this. Then her white SUV pulled up to the curb, and I understood everything. Karen Wilkinson stepped out of her car, clipboard in hand, hair shellacked into suburban perfection. Her expression was smug, calculated, weaponized. "Officers," she said with mock surprise, "I see our neighborhood intruder has returned." She turned to me like a villain straight out of a courtroom drama. "This man abandoned the property months ago. That's why the HOA had to intervene." I stared at her in disbelief. "What are you talking about? I've been gone for 2 weeks. You know that." Her eyes narrowed. "The board has documentation showing the home was vacant and HOA fees went unpaid for 6 months. We followed the proper process to place a lien and initiate a sale." I felt sick. That's a lie. But protocol had to be followed. The officers told me to get a lawyer and sort it out through legal channels. So I did. And what we uncovered was horrifying. The paper trail to heli checked into a hotel and called every real estate attorney I could find. Jessica Ramirez was the first to take my call seriously. She listened quietly, brows furrowed. "This isn't just a mistake," she finally said. "This sounds like fraud, and if they filed a deed transfer, we need to challenge it immediately." We moved fast. We gathered every piece of evidence: HOA payment records, travel confirmations, neighbor statements. Jessica filed formal requests for county records. And then the truth unraveled. Someone had submitted forged paperwork claiming I'd abandoned the property, falsified certified letters, fake inspection reports, a fake notice of public auction, all signed and executed by the HOA, more specifically by Karen Wilkinson. But this wasn't her first time. A pattern of theft. Jessica expanded the search. In the past year, the other homes in Pinterest Estates had been sold under similar circumstances. One owner was deployed overseas. Another was caring for a sick parent out of state. Same script, same process, same HOA. And then came the smoking gun. Karen's connection to the real estate company brokering the sales. Her sister-in-law was the listing agent. They've been splitting commissions. Even worse, we subpoenaed a mail records. Karen had been monitoring mail holds, travel notices, even social media posts. She knew when homeowners would be gone. She pounced while they were away. This wasn't negligence. It was organized real estate fraud. Going to war. Took it all to the district attorney's office. At first, they dismissed it as a civil issue, but when we laid out the scope, multiple homes, forged documents, insider profits, they realized what they were dealing with. This is criminal conspiracy, Jessica said firmly. It's racketeering under the guise of an HOA. Still, we needed more pressure. So we went to the press. The local news jumped at the scandal. A corrupt HOA president stealing homes from residents. While they were on vacation, Karen's house of cards collapsed overnight. The downfall after the story aired. Neighbors flooded my phone with messages. People who had once sided with Karen now shared their own stories of bullying and threats. A former HOA treasurer came forward with proof Karen had embezzled funds for years. We submitted it all to law enforcement. Then came the raid. Police searched Karen's home and the HOA office. They found detailed dossiers on homeowners, including financials, travel dates, and lists of potential targets. The family living in my home was crushed. They'd been duped just like me. Fortunately, the courts quickly voided the sale, and HOA insurance compensated them. I got my house back. Though much of what I owned was gone. Justice delivered. Karen didn't go quietly. She was arrested mid-HOA meeting, trying to deny the allegations, while neighbors recorded the moment on their phones. Her shrieking, "I was protecting property values," was drowned out by the sound of handcuffs clicking shut. She was charged with multiple felonies, fraud, conspiracy, grand theft, and money laundering. The DA's office announced they would seek the maximum, 25 years in prison and over $1 million in fines. Karen's polished image shattered at arraignment. Denied bail, orange jumpsuit, mascara-streaked cheeks, a far cry from her pearls and blazers. The final notice. When I returned home, I found the mailbox Karen had once complained about gone. In its place, I installed a new, once sleek, defiant, charcoal gray with a brass plaque that read, "This property is not abandoned, and neither am I." Karen thought she could erase me from my own life, but she forgot one thing. You can fake a signature, you can file a false deed, you can even lie to the cops, but you can't bury the truth. And when you steal someone's home, you better pray they never come back.